This is VOA News. I'm Michael Brown reporting. British lawmakers will vote again Wednesday on whether to leave the European Union, a day after rejecting Prime Minister Theresa May's latest effort to set the terms of Britain's Brexit deal to split from the European Union on March 29th.
The danger for those of us who want to deliver, to have faith with the British public and deliver on their vote for Brexit, if this deal is not passed, then Brexit could be lost.
Prime Minister Theresa May urging lawmakers to adopt the deal she negotiated Monday with European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker for legally binding changes to ensure that the border between EU member Ireland and Britain's Northern Ireland would remain open after Brexit. Famous Hollywood parents, college coaches, test proctors, and a college administrator among 50 people indicted here in the U.S. in what prosecutors are calling the largest college admission scam ever, prosecuted by the Justice Department. Prosecutors say William Rick Singer of California pled guilty to orchestrating the scam and is now as a cooperating witness. Authorities say he earned more than $25 million by connecting parents and their children with test administrators and college coaches who took their cut for endorsing bogus applicants.
I feel bad because I don't think they knew that their parents were doing that. And I think that's embarrassing. Like, you're going to college, that's a fun thing, and now, it's embarrassing. I don't know. But it's wrong, and I feel bad for the kids.
One FBI official said the parents flaunted their wealth, sparing no expense so they could set their children up for success. And the U.S. and the Taliban reached a draft agreement on the withdrawal of foreign troops from Afghanistan in return for preventing Afghan soil from being used as a hub for terrorism. From here in Washington, this is VOA News. The most senior Catholic to be convicted of child sex abuse is heading to prison for up to 6 years for molesting 2 choir boys in a Melbourne cathedral more than 20 years ago. Victoria State County Court Chief Judge Peter Kidd on Wednesday admonished Cardinal George Pell just before his sentencing.
You maintain your innocence in relation to this offending, which is your right, and as a consequence, there is no evidence of your remorse or contrition for me to act upon to reduce your sentence.
The judge said Pell must serve a minimum of 3 years, 8 months before he is eligible for parole. Pope Francis' former finance minister had been convicted by a unanimous jury back in December. The 77-year-old denies the allegations and says he will appeal convictions in the Victoria Court of Appeals in June. The Independent International Commission of Inquiry on Syria warns peace has not returned, and it is neither safe nor sustainable for Syria's nearly 12 million refugees. Get more on the story from Lisa Schlein for VOA in Geneva.
Syria is entering its 9th year of conflict this week. The crisis is not over. Syrian government forces, with the aid of their Russian allies, have pacified large swathes of territory, but the war has not been won. Chair of the Independent Commission, Paolo Pinheiro, says scores of civilians continue to be killed and maimed in Idlib and western Aleppo by pro-government forces.
Violations of international human rights and international human rights law by all sides remain rampant, creating multiple security vacuums and thus fertile soil for future escalations.
The Commission finds persecution, discrimination, and other forms of ill treatment are widespread. Lisa Schlein for VOA News, Geneva.
President Trump's former campaign manager, Paul Manafort, is due to be sentenced Wednesday in federal court here in Washington on 2 conspiracy charges. Manafort could get up to 10 years in prison. Last week, another federal judge sentenced Manafort to 47 months for tax and bank fraud. The case is part of special counsel Robert Mueller's probe into Russia's interference in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. However, the charges against Manafort are not related to his work on the Trump campaign, but rather his work on behalf of a pro-Russia political party in Ukraine. And Israeli police say it would reopen Jerusalem's most sensitive holy site Wednesday, revered by Jews and Muslims, a day after a firebomb was thrown at a police station on the compound. For more news, please join us at voanews.com. From here in Washington, I'm Michael Brown reporting.